It's the scandal no one saw coming, but everyone is talking about. Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, two of the most controversial figures in love and hip-hop history, have just been blacklisted from reality TV. That's right. After years of drama, betrayals, and headline-making moments, their time in the spotlight has come to a shocking and unexpected halt. But why? What really went down behind the scenes that led producers to make such a drastic decision? Sources say it all started with an explosive backstage altercation, one so intense, so chaotic, that even security couldn't contain it. Cameras were rolling, tempers were flaring, and before anyone knew it, fists were flying. And now, after years of being reality TV royalty, Kirk and Mendeecees are reportedly done for good. No more cameras, no more confessionals. Just a cold, hard reality they never saw coming. But hold on. There's more to this story than what's being reported. Was this really just about one fight? Or was something much bigger brewing behind the scenes? Betrayals, secret alliances, and shocking revelations. This scandal runs deeper than anyone imagined. No one saw it coming. Not like this. The tension between Kirk Frost and Mendeecees had been simmering for weeks, but nobody expected it to explode into full-blown chaos. What started as harmless shade turned into a career-ending brawl, one that would shake the entire love and hip-hop franchise to its core. It all went down at a private, closed-door taping, an after-show meant to clear the air before the official reunion episode. No cameras, no pressure, just a chance for cast members to talk things out. At least that was the plan. But when you put egos, grudges, and reality TV stars hungry for drama in the same room, it's only a matter of time before something explosive happens. And that night it did. Kirk and Mendeecees were never close, but there was mutual respect until recently. Rumors had been circulating that Mendeecees was talking reckless behind Kirk's back, calling him a washed-up has-been who only stayed relevant because of Rashida's hustle. At first, Kirk brushed it off. Love and hip-hop thrived on drama, and loose lips were nothing new. But then, multiple sources came forward saying Mendeecees had taken things even further. The whispers turned into full-blown accusations. Mendeecees was allegedly telling producers that Kirk was desperate, starting fake beef just to stay on the show. That he was a liability, bringing nothing new to the franchise except recycled scandals and tired drama. For Kirk, that was personal. He had the nerve to say, "I'm the one holding the show back?" Kirk reportedly vented to cast members. This man barely got out of prison and now he thinks he's running things? It wasn't just about ego. It was about respect. Kirk wasn't going to let Mendeecees disrespect his legacy. Inside sources say Kirk pulled Mendeecees aside before the reunion taping, wanting to settle things man to man, but Mendeecees wasn't backing down. If you're worried about what I'm saying, maybe you should fix what's broken, Mendeecees allegedly told Kirk, his tone dripping with arrogance, Kirk's face twisted, his jaw clenched. That was all it took. What started as a heated exchange turned into a full-blown screaming match. Cast members and producers watched in complete shock. "You were a guest on this show. I built this before you even got here," Kirk snapped, pointing a finger at Mendeecees. Mendeecees just laughed, a slow, mocking laugh that sent Kirk over the edge. Before security could react, Kirk shoved him, hard. Mendeecees stumbled back into a chair. That was the moment everything spiraled out of control. Mendeecees lunged forward, grabbing Kirk's shirt. Within seconds, fists were flying. Chairs crashed, glasses shattered, cast members screamed. Security rushed in, trying to separate them, but both men were seeing red. Yandy Smith, Mendeecees' wife, was yelling at him to stop. Rashida was desperately trying to pull Kirk away, but it was too late. The damage was already done. And the worst part? It was all caught on camera. Someone in that room had pulled out their phone the second things started getting tense. And the moment Kirk and Mendeecees threw hands, the footage was already spreading like wildfire. Within minutes, clips started surfacing on social media. Fans were shocked. Comments flooded in. The Love and Hip Hop production team went into full panic mode. "This ain't normal reality TV drama," one producer reportedly said. "This is career-ending." The fight was so intense, so brutal, that producers had no choice but to shut down, filming immediately. Kirk was pulled into one room, furious, still fuming. Mendeecees was in another, his face twisted with rage. And behind the scenes, executives were already making a decision that nobody expected. Because while fights were common, in reality TV, what had just happened was too far, too dangerous, too raw, too destructive. And before the night was even over, an emergency meeting had been called. The verdict? Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris were about to get hit with the biggest punishment of their careers. And this time, there was no coming back. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Within hours, the Love and Hip Hop production team found themselves in the middle of a full-blown crisis. And no, it wasn't just about broken chairs or shattered egos. This time, things had escalated beyond anything they had ever dealt with. The network executives weren't just upset, they were furious. Fights on reality TV weren't exactly rare. If anything, Love and Hip Hop thrived on drama. A little pushing and shoving, expected. Heated arguments, almost mandatory. But this was different. Two longtime cast members, Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, had taken things way too far. What should have been just another dramatic moment for the cameras turned into an all-out brawl, one that could have easily led to serious injuries. And to make things worse, the footage had leaked. It was everywhere. Social media exploded. Fans dissected every frame of the viral clip. Kirk shoving Mendeecees, Mendeecees lunging back at him, the sound of glass shattering in the background. The reactions came fast and loud. Never thought I'd see the day Kirk and Mendeecees actually threw hands. Love and Hip Hop will never be the same. This fight was wild. Mendeecees straight up snapped. If Kirk and Mendeecees get kicked off the show for this, I'm done watching. The fandom was divided. Some defended Kirk, claiming he had earned his respect and that Mendeecees had crossed a line. Others sided with Mendeecees, arguing that Kirk was out of line for putting his hands on someone first. But there was one thing everyone could agree on. This was one of the biggest scandals in Love and hip-hop history. For the executives, this wasn't just about managing fan reactions. It was about the future of the franchise. The fight had crossed a line that even Love and Hip Hop couldn't spin into good TV. There were legal concerns. Sponsors were getting nervous. If they let Kirk and Mendeecees stay, it would send the wrong message. A decision had to be made. Fight. The next morning, both Kirk and Mendeecees got the call. They were officially fired. No warning, no second chances. Just like that, they were out. Kirk was in disbelief. "This ain't real," he reportedly told his wife, Rashida, pacing back and forth in their Atlanta home. "They ain't never done nothing like this before. They need me. I've been here since the beginning." But Rashida saw it coming. "Kirk, you put your hands on Mendeecees," she told him bluntly. And it got out. They had no choice. Kirk wasn't trying to hear it. In his mind, he wasn't just another cast member. He was Love and Hip Hop royalty. He had been on the show for over a decade, built his brand, and made money moves. Now they were tossing him aside like he was nothing. On the other side of things, Mendeecees was having his own moment of disbelief. When he got the call, he was sitting in the living room with Yandy. The second he heard the words, "We're letting you go," his body tensed. Nah, that's not happening," he said, shaking his head. "I bring too much to this show. They need me." Yandy wasn't having it. "So that's it?" she snapped, grabbing her phone. "They're just going to throw you out after everything? After we brought real stories to this show?" And she wasn't wrong. Yandy and Mendeecees had carried multiple seasons. Their relationship, his legal battles, their struggles as a family, it had all been prime reality TV gold. But none of that mattered anymore. "I told you not to let him get to you," Yandy muttered, rubbing her temples. "And now look, we're done." But the drama didn't end there. The moment the firings went public, the rumor mill started spinning. Were Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris blacklisted from reality TV? Insiders claimed that multiple networks were now hesitant to work with them. Executives saw them as too much of a liability. After all, if they couldn't keep things professional on one show, how could they be trusted on another? A source from a competing network put it bluntly. We can't have another situation like this. If Kirk and Mendeecees couldn't control themselves, we can't take that risk. The fallout was immediate. Sponsorship deals were put on hold. Potential spin-offs? Scrapped. Their entire reality TV careers were now hanging by a thread, but Kirk and Mendeecees weren't about to go down without a fight. Mendeecees called up his legal team, wanting to know if he could sue for wrongful termination or at least negotiate some kind of payout. Kirk, on the other hand, was thinking bigger. If they think I'm just gonna disappear, they got another thing coming, he reportedly told a friend. I built my name. I don't need love and hip-hop. I'll make my own moves. And just like that, the battle lines were drawn. It was no longer just Kirk versus Mendeecees. It was Kirk and Mendeecees versus the entire love and hip-hop empire. But the real question was, could they really bounce back from this? Or was this the end of Kirk and Mendeecees' reality TV careers for good? The aftermath of their firing sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. These weren't just any reality stars. They were staples of the genre, deeply woven into the fabric of love and hip-hop. The show had made them household names, and now they were being erased. But neither of them was going down quietly. Kirk, ever the businessman, knew he had to control the narrative. Within days of his firing, he sat down for an exclusive interview with a major blog. He was determined to tell his side of the story. Listen, Kirk began, looking straight into the camera. What happened between me and Mendeecees was unfortunate. But at the end of the day, I was defending my honor. You don't come at me like that, especially on my own turf. I've been with love and hip-hop from day one. I put in the work. And for them to just cut me off like that, it's foul. Kirk wasn't just angry about the fight. He felt betrayed. For years, the show had capitalized on his highs and lows, his family drama, his business ventures, his struggles. Now, with one bad moment, they were acting like he never mattered. But here's the thing about reality TV. Scandals fade, but big personalities don't. But Kirk wasn't going to let that be the end of his story. I'm not done, he promised his fans. They might have shut the door on me, but trust me, I've got plenty of other doors I can open. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was dealing with his own whirlwind. Getting fired from love and hip-hop hit him hard, but he wasn't about to just lay down and accept defeat. Like Kirk, Mendeecees knew that controlling the narrative was everything. So he took to the media, but with a different approach. Rather than focus on the fight, Mendeecees used his platform to reflect on his journey. I've been through a lot, he began during an emotional Instagram live session. From my legal battles to my time away from my family, I've always faced challenges head-on. This is just another obstacle. But I'll tell you this, I don't regret standing up for myself. I've always been about respect, and I won't let anyone disrespect me, on or off camera. Yandy, of course, was right there by his side, her expression calm but her eyes filled with controlled fury. She was upset, furious even, but she also knew how the game worked. She had been in reality TV long enough to understand that sometimes you take a hit and bounce back stronger. Trust me, y'all haven't seen the last of Mendeecees, she told their followers. He's been through worse than this, and we always come out on top. But behind closed doors, Mendeecees wasn't as sure. Losing love and hip-hop wasn't just a professional setback, it felt personal. He had given years of his life to that show, poured his heart out on camera, and now, with one mistake, it felt like everything was slipping away. Man, I don't know if we're gonna bounce back from this, he admitted to Yandy one evening, the weight of the situation finally sinking in. This is our bread and butter. Without love and hip-hop, what's left? Yandy wasn't one for self-pity. She was already thinking 10 steps ahead. We'll figure it out, she reassured him. We've built a brand. The fans love us, not just the show. We're not going anywhere. But then, the real blow came. It started as whispers, rumors floating around industry circles. Not only had Kirk and Mendeecees been fired, they were being blacklisted. At first, it seemed like just another piece of gossip. But as the days passed, the rumors gained traction. Sources from multiple networks confirmed that no other reality show wanted to take the risk of working with them. It's not just about the fight, an insider revealed. Reality TV thrives on drama, but this went too far. No one wants to deal with potential legal fallout or the risk of them losing control again. For Kirk, the news hit like a punch to the gut. Getting fired was one thing, but blacklisted? That was a career death sentence. Without reality TV, Kirk's brand would fade. His influence, his visibility, gone. "I ain't about to be no has-been," Kirk told Rashida one night, frustration thick in his voice. "They think they can just blackball me? Nah, I've built too much to let it all crumble." Rashida, always the calm in Kirk's storm, tried to reassure him. "We'll figure something." "Out, babe," she said. "You've got too much hustle to let this be the end." But Kirk wasn't convinced. He knew the truth. Without TV, staying relevant would be an uphill battle. His businesses thrived because of his name, his face, his brand. Without that exposure, everything could fall apart. On the other side of the country, Mendeecees was feeling the same pressure. His phone, once ringing off the hook, had gone eerily silent. Opportunities that once came effortlessly were suddenly out of reach. Brands stopped reaching out. His social media engagement was dipping. It was like the fight had triggered an industry-wide freeze-out. "We need to do something," Mendeecees told Yandy, frustration clear in his voice. "I'm not about to be blacklisted. This ain't how my story ends." Yandy, always the strategist, already had a plan. "We'll create our own opportunities," she said confidently. "If they don't want us on their shows, we'll make our show. We don't need them. We have the fan base. We have the following. Let's do this ourselves." But despite their bold words, both Kirk and Mendeecees knew they were facing an uphill battle. Being blacklisted wasn't just about not getting cast on shows. It meant being shut out of an entire industry. And as the weeks passed, the weight of their situation only grew heavier. They had built their lives around reality TV. Now, they faced the very real possibility that it could all come crashing down. Could they bounce back, or had that one fight marked the end of their reign in reality TV? The silence was deafening. Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, two of love and hip-hop's biggest names, were now staring at an uncertain future. The industry that once thrived on their drama, their storylines, their conflicts, had turned its back on them. No more producers calling for confessional interviews. No more cameras following their every move. No more big reality TV checks. At first, neither of them wanted to believe it. They had survived scandals before, cheating rumors, business, failures, public fallouts, but they always bounced back. This time, though, something felt different. For Kirk, the reality hit when he started reaching out to other reality shows, hoping to land a spot elsewhere. He had connections, people he had worked with for years. Somebody would give him a shot. But every call ended the same way. "Man, I wish I could help you," one producer told him, regret clear in his voice. "But the network doesn't want that kind of heat right now. The fight was too much. Nobody wants the backlash." And that's when Kirk realized it wasn't just about the fight anymore. He wasn't just a reality star who got caught in an altercation. He was now seen as too risky, too volatile. Worst of all, bad for business. And Rashida? She saw the change in him immediately. Her husband, the man who built himself into a reality TV veteran, was now a man without a platform, and for the first time in a long time. Kirk Frost had no idea what came next. Kirk spent his days pacing the house, his phone glued to his hand, waiting for a call that never came. "We can make this work, babe," Rashida tried to reassure him one evening. "You've got Frost Bistro, the clothing stores." Kirk cut her off, shaking his head. "That's not the point, Rashida. This is what I do. This is who I am. If they shut me out, how do I stay relevant? How do we keep the brand alive?" Rashida didn't have an answer. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was dealing with his own struggles. While Yandy was busy strategizing, trying to turn their personal brand into something bigger, he found himself lost in a feeling he wasn't used to: uncertainty. He had built his life on the hustle, on making moves and staying ahead. But now it felt like every door was slamming shut before he even had the chance to knock. But Yandy wasn't one to sit around and wait for opportunities to come to them. If the industry didn't want them, they would build their own platform. She started reaching out to streaming services, independent production companies, even social media platforms. "We don't need VH1, she told Mendeecees confidently. "We can take this to YouTube, to the Zeus network, to Tubi. wherever we want. We own our brand. We don't need their cameras. We can hire our own. Mendeecees wanted to believe her, but he wasn't convinced. It's not the same, Yandy. If we ain't on TV, are people even going to care? Yandy's confidence didn't waver. They'll care because we'll make them care. We just have to give them something they can't ignore. Meanwhile, the fallout from the blacklist was spreading fast. Fans were outraged. Social media exploded. With debates, some defending Kirk and Mendeecees, others saying they got what they deserved. They built love and hip-hop, one fan tweeted. Now they're just getting tossed aside like they never mattered? Nah, that ain't right. But not everyone was sympathetic. They knew what they were doing, another user commented. This ain't some regular drama. They fought on set. What did they expect? Even former cast members and producers started weighing in. Stevie J, a love and hip-hop veteran, made his stance clear. Man, I've been in this game for years, and let me tell you, there's a line you don't cross. Kirk and Mendeecees, they crossed it. Others weren't so sure. They want us to act up on TV, a former cast member said in a podcast interview. That's what brings in views. But the second it gets too real, suddenly we're too much? Nah, that's some bull. Despite the public outcry, the network stood firm. Kirk and Mendeecees were out. No second chances. That's when Kirk decided he wasn't going down without a fight. A legal fight. He had been in the entertainment industry long enough to know his rights. If the network wanted to blacklist him, fine, but they owed him. This ain't just about a fight, Kirk told his lawyer. This is about my legacy. They used me for years. They made money off my name. Now they just want to erase me? Nah, they owe me. The lawsuit wasn't just about Kirk's contract. He wanted damages. He wanted compensation for the years he had given to the franchise, only to be discarded like he was nothing. Mendeecees, on the other hand, was torn. He wasn't the type to sue. He had been through the legal system before, and he didn't want to go back down that road. But he also knew Kirk had a point. They had given everything to the show, and now they were being left with nothing. As the lawsuit became public, the industry erupted. This is a game changer, one media insider said. If Kirk wins, this could set a whole new precedent for reality TV stars. It's about power. It's about control. These networks own their talent, but Kirk is fighting back. But with the lawsuit came consequences. Kirk and Mendeecees weren't just blacklisted anymore. They were radioactive. No network, no brand, no company wanted to be associated with them while they were in litigation. Rashida tried to talk Kirk down. Babe, maybe we should just let it go. Focus on our businesses. Move on. But Kirk wasn't listening. I'm not letting them win, Rashida. I'm fighting this to the end. Yandy, on the other hand, saw the bigger picture. She knew Mendeecees didn't want to get caught up in lawsuits and legal drama. So she made a bold move, a reality TV comeback on their terms. She reached out to producers, pulled in favors, and before long, the plan was in motion. A new show, independent, uncensored, raw. Kirk and Mendeecees might have been blacklisted from love and hip-hop, but that didn't mean they were done. The question now was, would the fans follow them? Or was this truly the end of the road? The drama isn't over yet. And you already know, this story is far from finished. Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris might have been blacklisted, but will they really stay gone? Will Kirk's lawsuit shake up the reality TV world? And can Yandy's bold move bring them back into the spotlight on their own terms? Fans are divided. The industry is watching. And one thing is clear, this scandal is just getting started. What do